Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Nick from the 4554 podcast, and today I wanted to do a quick walkthrough on how to report an IP violation on Teespring. So if you guys were tuned into Merch Talk this past Wednesday, you'll know that was kind of a hot topic, and it's actually a pretty hilarious video because Margaret, aka Texas Gal Treasures, actually called the number of the person who stole one of their designs. So that was pretty funny, so I would suggest that you go and check that out. But since then, because I was actually brought in on that show to talk about how to properly report an IP violation. And since then, I've had quite a few people ask me, what I should do or what they should do when they run across their designs on Teespring. Let me go ahead and preface this video by saying, I do not bash Teespring. Copycats are everywhere. And there are a lot of other pods that have much worse, much worse instances of violations than Teespring. Luckily, Teespring has come up with a pretty easy way to report these copies and hopefully get them off and get that user banned from the platform. But you have to go through the right way and you have to give them all of the information because they could come up on serious legal ramifications if they do ban someone that was the legitimate owner. So we're just going to do a quick walkthrough, and I happened to find one of my designs, you can see right here, that was copycatted. They didn't even take the time to center it, but hey, that just kind of is what it is. Basic text-based design that it was a decent seller, but that time has kind of passed on it, so I have no problem sharing it. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go to the campaign. Right under here, you're going to click report this campaign. Now I've actually already gone through and I filled out mostly everything, so I'm just going to take you through it. It's going to bring up another window that's going to bring in all of your information. So you just fill out everything here. If you don't have a quote-unquote company, you're going to put your name there. The legal name of the IP owner, put your legal name right there. The actual claim that you're going to do is going to be copyright. The reason that it's going to be copyright is because, according to the United States law, the moment you make that work in tangible form, it is in fact copyrighted. Now, there's a difference between something being copyrighted and something being registered. Now, I can't tell you all to go and register your copyrights for all of your works. That's a bit crazy. But just know that that is the definition of the copyright. So what I was able to do is, because I actually loaded this design onto Merch first, I came right over here to my listing on Merch, went right down to the date first listed on Amazon, and thankfully, Amazon no longer does that September 1st, 2015 thing. Copied that date, brought it back over here, I pasted it here, and just a fair warning, a lot of the information that you have here is going to be in, you got to put it in twice. The manner in which you first made the work public, the t-shirt design was loaded on for sale on Amazon.com on November 13, 2017. And once again, this is just Teespring making sure that they're covering all the bases for their claims. Because one thing I will definitely give them credit for, they have really cracked down on the copycats, and they're putting systems in place to make sure that these types of things don't keep happening. It's never good for them to have any bad press, especially among the print-on-demand community in their circles. So they're trying to do their best to do this. And it's difficult to do because you even see copycats on Amazon. So going right down here, asserted rights, example given, URL to prior work, copyright or trademark registration number. If you don't have the copyright or trademark registration number, your Amazon link will suffice. So we just lifted that from right here, dropped it there. You're going to see that again. Description of your work. This t-shirt design is an original work by myself loaded onto the Amazon platform in November of 2017. Once again, a lot of this stuff repeats itself, but you want to give them as many details as possible very early on. URL containing your work/mark. Please submit separate claims for your other works. We'll get to that in just a moment, but that is essentially where you take the same URL, you put it right there again, and it just covers all the bases. Other evidence of ownership of work. I am the original creator of the work and can, at request, send Dropbox links to the Photoshop file that is timestamped proving the original date of creation. Now, here's the thing. If you have a situation where you've outsourced this design, then that's just as simple as the receipt or, you know, your date of purchase, whatever the case may be. But some type of proof or some type of evidence stating to the fact. Description of the factual and or legal reasons why you believe that the campaign violates your rights. So this campaign is a pixel for pixel copy of my work taken from Amazon.com. That may seem very simple, but I assure you it's very effective. I've used the same thing to get tons of my designs that have been violated in terms of IP off of other pods. And then you want to come down here and just assert. And once again, guys, I can't stress this enough. Be real with yourself. If you bought this design or you lifted a design from somewhere like Pixabay or something like that and just dropped it on there, that's not a pixel for pixel copy. That's not an IP violation because you just took an existing work and put it on a shirt. So be careful and make sure that under penalty of perjury, you have good faith belief that the use of this material identified on the Teespring campaign is unauthorized by the rights owner or its license, and that such user amounts to infringement under federal or state law. You also click, I am the owner of the rights being asserted. I am authorized to act on behalf of the owner of the rights being asserted. Upload additional documents. Example given, formal complaint letter, trademark, registration docs. That will be the same thing. So if you have a receipt, if you've outsourced it, or if you have a trademark on the brand or the actual work itself, then you can go ahead and upload it right there. In order to expedite the process, you guys can read through all of that. If you have any issues, you can just go ahead and send that to legal@teespring.com. I would also say that, and I know they have another email for it, and I want to say it's IP Violations@teespring.com. But if you have more than one shirt and you don't want to fill out one for each one, you could email them as well. My suggestion, my 2 cents on all of it would be to do them individually. And then that way you have a record that each one of these that you found, you've done individually. After that, you just simply hit submit IP claim and you're done. It's just that simple. Now, realize this, guys. I know that in our merch community, sometimes we can look at Amazon and just think it's the end all be all and everybody else is just kind of small potatoes. Teespring is a large company. It is a large company, and they have a lot of the stuff that they have to deal with. They have a department that deals with these type of legal issues. So it's going to take a while. What I will say is, because they have changed some of their policies on violations of IP, you can rest assured that they will get to it, they will take care of it, and they will ban that user. And so I really think it's important that we all kind of go in and say, listen, this happened. It was sucky that it happened. Unfortunately, you know, it happened, but I was able to catch it. And that's the biggest thing about it, that you're able to catch it and go through. And yes, if you think that Teespring is bad, I can tell you right now, I'm still waiting almost 2 months later on T-Chip, and I have no problem calling them out. I'm still having issues with T-Chip taking down my designs that were copycat. So one thing I will give, you know, Teespring credit for is that even if it takes a few weeks, and when I say a few weeks, I mean like 4 or 5 at the max, you know, they're getting to it, they're taking care of it, and they're cracking down on the copycats. That's all I've got for today, guys. I hope I helped everybody out with this. If you need to connect with me, you can send me a message, 4554 Podcast on Facebook. Don't forget, I'm also talking about this in my merch group, Merch Marketing Strategy, so you can connect with me there. And honestly, that's probably the best place to connect with me. I'm in that group all the time. So just come on in, join the group, ask your questions, and we'll go ahead and get it taken care of for you. All right, that's it. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.